Welcome back to RE6 Mercenaries. I guess I'll just go down the list for stages as I show everybody off. I'm gonna get some of my least favorite characters out of the way first. This is another one I don't like. I don't like the costume. I don't like the shotgun. The handgun's okay. I think this is the same handgun Jake uses. I think what gives the characters, like, certain properties is the gun. The guns are like the moveset also. Which makes me wonder if you could do a hack to give other characters Jake's melee. Because it's technically a weapon. The camera movement sometimes, like, when you hit the targets here for the time bonuses, I guess they were trying to go for like action cam, but it just looks stupid the way the camera like wiggles around like that. And it's different for everybody. I mean, like, that's one of those things about this game that's just kind of like baffling how it made it to the finish line with stuff like that in there. I'm sure there are probably tons of video essays and stuff about, like, what went wrong with this game. This game is an amazing case study on, like, how you can screw everything up despite having a massive budget. And that's why you just play Mercenaries, because that stuff isn't quite as prevalent here. I love these enemies. Tracksuit Slavs. These guys are my favorite mob in the game. They make me want to squat down with a bottle of vodka. Have a good squat with a bottle of vodka and a pack of cigarettes. And by that I mean do some push-ups and drink water. Those are the kind of drinking games I play around here. Do as many push-ups as enemies I kill. He'll be as big as Chris by the end of it. This is something that is very annoying. There are some areas, like if you stand here, you can't get a melee attack. Something about this doorway, like, blocks it off. Let's see if I can show it. Maybe if I get him a little bit closer, I can show you what I mean. Like, there should be a melee prompt right there. I do it again. As soon as I cross the threshold, you'll see it. There are other places in the game that are like that too. Sometimes if you try to stomp their heads while they're on the railroad tracks up here, up on top of the stage, they'll just stomp nothing. That happens in the rail yard stage too. The other version of Chris is much better. I think default Chris is actually one of the best characters in this. Default Chris, Jake, and both versions of Sherry are all S tier. Default Jake, I mean. I'm not sure about EX Jake. I think he's actually still pretty good. But I don't play as him because the costume's kind of stupid. You can get doubles like that if there are enemies close together. You really have to watch out for the guys that have RPGs. They don't have a laser sight on their RPGs. So you just kind of have to know like when they start spawning. I think the first one here spawns after you've killed 35 enemies. And you'll know when they're out. You'll know when they're out because you'll get an RPG to the face with no warning. Like that. And they have a pretty fast rate of fire. I think there are a lot less of them though. They were only, what, in that one stage in RE5 Mercenaries? But there were a bunch of them in that stage. Chris's taunt is pretty funny.
Never had a mission so easy.
Oh my god. Just dodge that with a melee attack. I think on the other Eastern European stage, there are like a whole bunch of RPG guys that start spawning at the end of the match. I don't remember if that happens here. Managing the stamina is probably a big deal breaker for a lot of people. It is really frustrating when you first start playing the game. They also don't really explain much about the controls to you. Or they don't really explain any of it. Like, they don't even tell you that Jake can recharge his stamina. Is this game old enough to even have an instruction manual where they would explain that kind of stuff? I think instruction manuals were already gone by the time this came out. It says an RPG in this one. It doesn't seem quite as powerful as it was in RE5 though. These guys you have to get like point blank with the shotgun. Sometimes it just doesn't break it though. Sometimes it seems like you're point blank and it still doesn't work. Especially with the Hydra. You'll see when I play as Helena that the Hydra is in this one, but it has been severely nerfed. If you get point blank with those worm explodey guys, you can launch them around like that. These guys, I just kind of try to bait him into swinging at him. They can also punch those worm guys into you when they start swinging around. Shit. If you get one of them to fall down like that, then you can kind of bounce them all around. God, I hate this shotgun. This shotgun sucks. Pretty much the only way to make this shotgun useful is to use that stupid fast switching the camera thing. That is an extremely effective way to kill them and get time, but it uses a lot of stamina. Oh, that's right. I should also explain the, what is it, the skill thing? Shit, get away from him, Oh. There's a whole menu in this where you can apply various skills to the characters. I think in general, most of them are pretty useless. The only one I usually use is the extra time one. The limit breaker one seems like it doesn't, like, do anything. If it gets you any points, it's not a whole lot. At least not from what I can tell. I use the limit breaker, and sometimes when I do no mercy, I use the one that gives you more ammo drops. Not looking too good here. The counter thing is really annoying because sometimes when you're going to do a melee attack to finish an enemy, one of the other guys will run up and get you with the counter thing, which can kill your combo. He'll make you counter him instead of the enemy you were trying to kill. You can still get a lot of mileage out of just shooting him in the head and then doing the melee attack. These guys are a melee skill check. Just to test your ability to do a simple 3-hit combo. Or other melee too. Oh yeah, that one's good against them. You can also just get behind them. These things are really annoying. These things can, I think they have a one-hit kill. They give you the chance to escape it with a quick time. But they can get up behind you easily because they don't make any noise. If you get surrounded by these things, you can get chomped pretty easily. I think if you shoot basically where the head would be, though, you shoot him in that little orange bit, you can still get the melee attack. Now see, he's gonna get... Oh, okay, that was weird. You have to be careful doing melee attacks around these things, because sometimes you'll set yourself up perfectly for them to grab you. Those things will occasionally self-destruct. I think they get stuck in the environment sometimes too. If you drop a combo, usually it's going to be just because the next wave of enemies has taken forever to get to you. You can hear them self-destruct sometimes. I think they do that. I think if they've been out on the map for long enough or something, I'm not sure what it is. They made some kind of attempt to fix the fact that those things can frequently kill your combo, but it'll still happen. It's just the way this game is. I might be able to kill everybody. Not going to be an amazing combo. It's just generally easier to finish the match in this one, to kill all the enemies. I saw the screen shake from an explosion. There must be RPG guys out there. I think this is when they start parachuting in. There was a perfect example of what I was talking about. Sometimes when you try and stomp them on these railroad tracks, it just goes right through it. Ugh. I'll give you one right back, motherfucker. Oh, I missed. It's alright. Not a fan of that character. Alright, that's it for that round, but I'll be back soon with more mercenaries.